What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I've got two sneakers to unbox. One is a pair of shoes that I thought was one thing, and then after I ordered it, I looked at the confirmation email and realized that it wasn't that thing. And then the other pair of sneakers is a pair of shoes that I think could quite possibly be the most underrated sneaker of this year so far. So without further ado, let's bust into these guys and see what we've got. So this first box is a pair of sneakers that I did not mean to order. I thought it was one thing, and like I said, I realized it was something different before it actually came in the mail, and I couldn't cancel it by that point, so now I just have a pair. So as you can see on the front of the box, you've got the Converse logo, which probably clues you in a little bit as to what this pair of sneakers could be. There was a Converse drop a couple days ago on the sneakers app, or I think for when I'm filming this video it was yesterday, and I thought this pair of sneakers was the brand new Converse basketball sneakers, and in a sense, it is, but in another sense, it's not. So let's pop this guy open, and inside we've got white paper, as to be expected, and the shoes themselves. So these are the Converse Star Series BB. I think Tinker Hatfield BB, and I thought these were just the Converse Star Series Pro BB, which, I mean, the names are so similar, it's so easy to get confused. And from a distance, and when you don't really know what the sneaker exactly looks like, they're relatively easy to get confused, which I absolutely did. So this shoe is technically part of Converse's basketball lineup that they just dropped, which is sort of a reinvention of their basketball line, mainly because they haven't dropped basketball-specific sneakers in years, and this is the first time they're doing it. I thought this was the main basketball sneaker because I just watched Nightwing's review on them, and I thought, wow, that would be really cool to have. And then they dropped, and I was not even thinking, I clicked the buy button, and then I realized after the fact, looking at the picture, these don't look exactly the same as the ones that he reviewed. Come to realize they definitely aren't. In fact, these are more of the lifestyle version of those basketball sneakers, and in my opinion, they don't look as good. Now, to be fair, these were designed by Tinker Hatfield, and he has a much better design sense than I do, so I can't really hate on them too much. I just think they look more like hiking boots or mountain boots than basketball sneakers or even lifestyle sneakers for that matter. They're just not something I would really see myself wearing around. So unlike the basketball version of this shoe, instead of a drop in midsole, you have this very soft foam midsole, which I think could be React, but they don't call that out anywhere on the sneakers, so it could just be standard Lunarlon or EVA foam. I'm not exactly sure what it is because I can't find any literature on it. The outsole of these sneakers have that classic Converse outsole texture on them, which I think is fine. It's a nice touch. It does kind of have a weirdly rugged look to it, especially from the side. It looks like a hiking sneaker, like I said before, but I really wish I'd gotten a basketball pair. And that pair sold out. It had like a very limited release in May, and it doesn't re-release till June. So I should have known. So apparently Tinker had a hand in designing these. They do look pretty similar to the basketball version, however, so I don't know if he did that much to them. I mean, the midsole, of course, is different, but other than that, it's a pretty similar looking shoe. One of the most noticeable details on the shoe is this bright orange accent running between the midsole and the upper of the shoe. And of course, you've got an orange detail on the heel as well with the pull tab. And these details both really stand out, which I think is a good thing because I think if it was an all black shoe, it would be really dull. Oh, on the insole of the shoe, it says Nike Lebron, so that's the midsole material that they're using. It's soft to the touch. I'm sure it feels good on foot. Why don't we try these on really quick? So after trying these on, I have to say they are comfortable. They were surprisingly comfortable. Cushline is really great underfoot, and of course these don't disappoint when it comes to the underfoot comfort department. There is a lot of Cushline and it's pretty soft. Fit-wise, I would say they fit true to size. I didn't really have any extra room around the toe, which is always a good thing. I would hope and I would assume that they fit somewhat similarly to the actual basketball version of the shoe, which also fits true to size. So if you're grabbing these, go with your true size. They don't seem especially narrow, they don't seem especially wide. Just kind of standard fit shoes, which is a good thing. Another detail on the shoe is the Converse Star and Chevron logo on the side of the sneaker, and I'm wondering if that's actually 3M. Let me test it out. So the Converse logo is 3M, so if you like 3M, you've got it on the side of the shoe. The upper material kind of feels like just canvasy nylon. It doesn't feel like anything special. It really feels a lot like what you find on sort of fabric suitcases or you know, those LL Bean backpacks. It's like not a bad material, and I'm sure it's durable. It's just nothing special. You've also got this sort of light orange fuse overlay running around the entire base of the upper. And what's interesting about that is that because it's semi-translucent, it almost comes across as like almost an olive green because there's black underneath it. And in my opinion, I don't really like it that much. I kind of wish they'd gone for either a solid black or a bright orange or something less almost muddy looking. I mean, this shoe really just feels like a trail shoe. It feels like something you'd wear on a hike. And that's not bad, it's just I don't think it really looks like a basketball sneaker. So I don't know why they're marketing it as a basketball sneaker. I feel like that's kind of weird. And it's not something I really feel like I need in my collection, and it's definitely not something I really wanted to spend, you know, over $100 on. So this one may be going back to the store. But now that we've got the Converse Series BB or All-Star BB or whatever the hell these are called out of the way, let's move on to the underrated shoe. So this package I really genuinely thought was stolen off my porch. I really thought someone saw the Nike logo and just grabbed it, and I didn't know what to do because FedEx said that it was delivered and it wasn't on my porch anywhere, and usually it's like, well, I'm not gonna tell you where, but it's somewhere on my porch. So I took the dog out for a walk, and my neighbor actually ended up coming over and was like, yo, they delivered it to my house, which was on the other end of the block. So I don't know how that happened, but what the hell, FedEx. But it's here now, and seriously, Nike, stop with the Nike logos. I realize that's not the reason the package was missing, but I mean, let's be honest. I live in the city. If someone sees this, they're gonna grab it. Like, you guys gotta take those off. Nice black Nike box. This shoe retailed for $250 and released last weekend, I think. And this is sort of the second colorway of a shoe that I loved last year, but I couldn't get my hands on. So let's see what we've got. This is sick. So this is the John Elliot LeBron James Icon sneaker, and this is the second colorway to drop. And I've got to say, this sneaker is hot. Now the first thing you'll notice about this sneaker is that it actually has a semi-translucent upper. It's got a very similar sort of plasticky mesh upper to the Nike Element Reacts and to some of the off-white sneakers. And you can actually see through the toe that this shoe no longer has the paper in it, and this one does, which means that no matter what sock you're wearing, you will definitely see it through this shoe. But really quick, because I forgot to mention it earlier on in the video, I actually partnered up with a good friend of mine, Untied Hawaii, to give away a pair of Travis Scott Air Jordan 1s. Entering the giveaway is really easy, and all the links to do so are in the description below. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and subscribe to Untied Hawaii's channel, and follow both of us on Instagram and on Twitter, and then comment done and where you're located in the original video where the giveaway was first announced, which is also linked in the description below. But that's it. That's all you have to do to enter to win what some people are considering the best sneaker of the year. Now back to a shoe that I consider one of the most underrated sneakers of the year. So as the name of the sneaker implies, this is a collaboration between John Elliot, LeBron, and Nike, and I've got to be honest, out of all the lifestyle LeBron sneakers that have ever dropped, I think this one genuinely is my favorite. Maybe not this colorway. I think personally I prefer the white and black colorway from last year, but the overall silhouette itself is just so awesome. So it looks like the plastic mesh does actually extend all the way around the shoe, and it's not backed with anything, at least not adhered to anything else around the heel. Instead, you've got a separate like leather booty area, which I didn't expect. I guess that's fine. It just looks a little janky on this side. I wonder why that is. But moving inside the shoe, like the ankle area of the shoe, you do have a black leather sock liner. The insole of the shoe comes in black with John Elliot and LeBron James printed in white on the heel. But as for fit, I've never actually tried these guys on, so why don't we throw these guys on and see how they feel. So I would say that these guys fit pretty much true to size. There wasn't really any room in the toe that I noticed. And they also don't feel like they're too narrow or too wide, so it felt like a pretty all-around true to size neutral fit, which I liked. As you can see on the side of this shoe, you've actually got a full-length air unit, which I absolutely love. It's super comfortable underfoot. It gives it a really cool like retro LeBron look, which I love. It's also obviously very soft, and I think it's great. I really love that feature. There are also a lot of stitching details on the shoe, or embroidery details on the shoe. If you look around the outer edge of the toe of the sneaker, instead of your standard fuse overlay, you actually have this nice black embroidery, which I think looks really, really good. I absolutely love it. In my opinion, opinion, that's the defining detail of the shoe, and that's what really makes this shoe stand out and seem really unique. Of course, embroidered in the center of the toe, you've got these black Nike swooshes, which I think are a nice touch. You've also got a vertical Nike logo printed on the tongue, which I actually kind of like. This shoe also comes with black flat laces, and to my knowledge, at least I didn't notice them in the box, I don't think it comes with any other sets of laces, which is fine because this is an all black shoe. If you really want to change up the contrast on the upper, all you have to do is just change the color of your socks. Like if you wear white socks with these, they'll really show up. And if you guys notice in that on foot, I actually wore white and black checkered socks just to see how that would look. It wasn't as obvious as I thought it would be, and I think if I wore just all white socks, you would definitely notice it, but I still think it was a cool look. Now the John Elliot Nike Lebron Icon is a $250 shoe, so it's not cheap, but for $250 you are getting a surprisingly premium sneaker. Like this almost feels like a designer shoe. I don't know how well it would do on court because I think this upper material, like this plasticky mesh, might not be that durable, but the outsole seems like it has an okay traction pattern. It has some herringbone on a majority of it. It is sort of a translucent gum outsole, and if you've watched any of Nightwing's reviews or any of the other basketball reviewers' reviews, Nike translucent rubber doesn't do too well on court for whatever reason, but it does look really good, and I didn't notice until now that it is actually a gum outsole and not a black outsole, and I think that's super cool. There are also so many hits of leather on this shoe too. You've got leather on the pull tab, you've got leather around the ankle area of the shoe, you've got leather around the lace eyelets. It's just such a premium feeling sneaker, and for $250 it should feel premium. And I think they did a great job with it. It's honestly one of my favorite Nike sneakers to drop this year. Now, like I said, this isn't the first time that the John Elliot Nike Lebron Icon released. It released last year as well in a white and black colorway, which again, I think might look a little bit better. But I'm really blown away by the fact that this shoe hasn't actually sold out, because last year it sold out like crazy. It was really hard to get a pair. Resale was like $350 to $400. I think this colorway is just as good as the white colorway. Like, it's still a super clean shoe. You still get some nice contrast in the upper. And the overall aesthetic and shape of this sneaker is awesome. I absolutely love it. So I don't understand why this colorway is not getting the love that the black and white colorway got. I really don't. In my opinion, the John Elliot Nike LeBron James Icon is the most underrated sneaker of 2019 in this black colorway. I'm sure there will be other new silhouettes that will come out that might beat this guy out because this guy is technically from 2018. But as of right now, this is it for me. I absolutely love it. But that pretty much wraps up the unboxing for today. Don't forget to enter the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 giveaway, which is all linked in the description below, and I'll see you all in the next one.